Well, for more on the latest developments, then, Ayşe Yürekli joins us on the program today. She's a senior policy advisor in EU affairs, civil society representative, and a non-resident fellow at the Istanbul Institute. Thank you very much for joining us. Can you tell us more about some of the cases that, the case that Imamoglu appeared in today and how it compares to some of the other cases in terms of political consequences for his career?
Okay, certainly. First and foremost, Ekrem İmamoğlu is a key figure of opposition. He is a beacon of hope and widely seen as a symbol for change and praised for his widespread popularity. Especially his victory in 2019 has been a significant milestone given Istanbul's prominence as Turkey's largest city and economic hub. And there are many ongoing cases against Ekrem İmamoğlu. Today, this morning, the one that has been postponed, as you have just reported, is actually related to the Istanbul's chief prosecutor, Akın Gürlek, and the insulting language that he used against him, and also the indictment to exert pressure on the judiciary using his role as a mayor, certainly these are important issues, and obviously, there are also other ongoing cases which involve fraud and other bribe and unlawfully recording personal data, rigging tender, etc. But all these issues actually remain allegations. And at least the opposition claims that these allegations have a very thin background and supporting documents. And unfortunately, the situation is widely viewed domestically and also by international observers as highly politically motivated against the most prominent opposition figure in Turkey, who has a real opportunity actually to run as a presidential candidate against President Erdogan.
So Ayşe,
running the country.
Sorry to interrupt you, but I mean, you said that these are just accusations. I mean, there are trials that are going to take place. So do you think that it's a stretch to say, based on the different cases that Imamoglu is facing, that Turkey is sliding into authoritarianism?
It is difficult to say that, but obviously there are signs, intimidating signs, and also what is called that a competitive authoritarianism that is currently the case for Turkey. A lot of political scientists also claim and give us hints about that, but the government is saying certainly that it's a delicate matter, and certainly Turkey should uphold its international obligations when it comes to democracy and rule of law. But these are also this is a developing story and ongoing cases, actually legal processes that are ongoing. So from a European point of view, I believe, and from an analyst point of view, it's also important to underline that certainly the opposition has very strong arguments, and thousands or even millions of people in Turkey went to streets, and these last 3 weeks have been very turbulent for Turkish society. Especially younger generations are against authoritarianism or against tilting towards autocracy. They are very vocal. They are on streets. They are protesting. These are all important indications. But we should also not forget that as the Europeans, at least, we need to strike a balance. It's a delicate matter. It's an ongoing matter, and the EU has this wait and see approach also about the ongoing situation.
Now, speaking of the EU's
But
wait and see approach, Aisha, I mean, how do you think that the evolution of Erdogan's rule has impacted Turkey's EU accession process? Do you think that that it's still a priority even for him to join the European Union?
Um, at least in verbal terms, yes, he on also his political party confirms and states and restates actually on multiple occasions that the EU full membership remains as a strategic target, a strategic goal for Turkey. But saying this is one thing, and doing other things is another thing, and it's very important also to see the situation, to view the situation. I am based in Brussels, and I speak also a lot with EU officials here and try to understand their point of view. And what they want to see is not just words, but also implementation on the ground in cases like, for example, in this particular case with Imamoglu, where freedom of assembly, freedom of expression, rule of law, democracy standards are upheld because they are European values, and they are non-negotiable values. And there is no pick and choose when it comes to full membership. And maybe in that respect, I can also like quote President Macron because he has made a very balanced, actually. Remark on the ongoing situation, and he said Turkey needs Europe and Europe needs Turkey. There is this mutuality, but at the same time, Europe needs a Turkey that upholds democracy and honors its commitments. And not just a strategic partner, but also a democratic one. And I think this is an important argument. And Turkish authorities must be aware of this, that there are high level of doubts when it comes to democracy and rule of law in Turkey. And certainly the opposition also makes a lot of effort to explain this to the international counterparts
Aisha
from their
Yürekli,
point
I'm
of
so
view.
sorry to cut you off again, but unfortunately, that's all we have time for. Thank you very much for your time and coming on the show
You're
today.
welcome.